Hi there. The topic for this video is dividing negative numbers. Okay, so just a few rules that you need to know, and please make sure you copy this down. So the rules for dividing negative numbers are as follows. The first one is if you got a positive number divided by a positive number, you will get a positive answer. Okay, so that's the first rule. Please make a note of that, and I'm going to show you a few examples in a moment. The next rule when dividing negative numbers is if you divide a negative number with a negative number, you're going to get a positive answer. Okay? Write this down. You need to memorize this. Okay? So a negative divided by negative gives me a positive. The third rule is a positive divided by a negative will give me a negative answer. And then my fourth and final rule is a negative divided by a positive will give me a negative answer as well. Okay, make sure you copy this down. All right, let's look at a few examples. Um, it says here, just a key rule, if the signs, sorry, are the same, the answer is positive. And if the signs are different, the answer is negative. So this is just a simple way to remember, actually. So make a note of this one as well. So as you can see, the two bottom rules, rule number 3 and 4, the signs were different, and you got a negative answer. But the top rules, rule number 1 and 2, the signs were the same. They were both positive, and you get a positive answer. Or if they're both negative, you get a positive answer as well. So if they're the same, you get a positive answer, and if they're different, you get a negative answer. So make a note of that. That's actually really good because it's a nice way to remember it. Okay. Um, all right. Let's look at a few examples. 18 divided by minus 3. Well, first of all, hold on. What's 18 divided by 3? 6, right? So 18 divided by minus 3 would be minus 6 because a positive divided by negative gives me a negative. There you go. Minus 75 divided by 15. How I would go about this is forget about the negative sign for now. What is 75 divided by 15? Okay. What is 75 divided by 15? It would be 5. But because it's negative divided by positive, it will give me a negative answer. So it's not going to be 5, it will be minus 5. Okay. Again, you've got minus 49 divided by minus 7. Forget about the minus signs. Leave it. Don't worry about it. What is 49 divided by 7? 49 divided by 7 is 7 because 7 times 7 is 49. Now, is it going to be negative or positive? Well, look at my signs. Are they the same? You got negative time divided by a negative, so therefore it's going to be positive. Remember what we said? If the signs are the same, okay, you get a positive answer. In this case here, both the signs are the same. In my question, 49 has a negative sign and the 7 has a negative sign. So negative divided by negative gives me positive. And so my answer is just going to be 7. Okay, you don't need to write positive 7 as your answer, plus 7. You can just leave it as 7. Okay. 45 divided by minus 3 divided by minus 5. Oh, okay, this is a mad one. What would the answer here be? Well, first of all, forget about the negative signs again. What is 45 divided by 3? 15. Divide that by 5 again. 15 divided by 5 is 3, right? And is it going to be positive or negative? Well, I've got a negative divided by negative will give me a positive, okay? And then you're timing it by a positive again, so it's just going to be a positive. Does that make sense? So what you can do is you just you compare the last two, okay? Or you can compare the first two. So 45 divided by minus 3 is minus 15, okay? And then you're doing minus 15 divided by minus 5, and that will give you positive 3. Does that make sense? So the first two, if you divide 45 divided by minus 3, will give you a negative answer. And then that negative answer of minus 15, if you divide that by minus 5, well, minus 15 divided by minus 5 will be positive 3 because negative divided by negative is positive. So this is a little bit more challenging, but what you should do is just split it up. Just divide the first two numbers together first, and then divide the next two numbers. Okay, and that will make it a little bit more simpler. Again, minus 72 divided by minus 2 divided by minus 4. Well, let's do the first two numbers together. What is minus 72 divided by minus 2? Well, what is 72 divided by 2? 36. Minus 72 divided by minus 2 is going to be just positive 36. Okay, so the first two numbers, minus 72 divided by minus 2, I get positive 36. Now I've got one more part left. I've got 36 now, and you're going to divide it by minus 4. Well, what is 36 divided by 4? 9. Good. But I'm dividing it not by 4, I am dividing it by minus 4. So it would be 36 divided by minus 4, which is minus 9. Okay? Please copy down these examples. These are very important. And the last two are a bit more challenging, but just a quick tip. Do the first two numbers together, divide the first two numbers together first, and whatever you get as a positive or negative, then divide it by your third number. Okay? What I would like you to do is pause the video now, okay, and have a go at these questions. Start off with the red ones and the blue ones and the yellow ones, okay, using the rules that you've learned. All right, you can pause the video, then please press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay. Um, all right, I'm going to give the answers later on. Um, these are the extension. Have a go at this one. This is a little bit more fun. It's like a negative numbers code breaker. So what you need to do is, yeah, this one. Have a go at this one actually. Basically work out the answers from the sums, and then afterwards, what I'd like you to do is um, basically crack the code. So when you write the answers down, write down its corresponding letter, and it will tell you something. Okay, it's an interesting code. So have a go at this. They actually used to use something like this in back in World War II, so that the enemies can't find out like their next tactics and things like this. So yeah, this is really cool. Have a go. Pause the video. Go on. All right. I think, like I said, have a go at this one as well. Pause the video. I'm gonna give the answers later on. So have a go at this. All right. Um, okay. The lesson's over now. What I want you to do just briefly in your book, just write down in your books for adding and subtracting negative numbers, in your own words, just a few rules for you to remember. Okay. You need to be able to do this. We went through a few rules together and we went through a few examples together. Just in your own words, in your books, write down for adding and subtracting negative numbers. What are the rules? Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great and wonderful day.